Renegades of Long Beach Roller Derby, and you're watching MoonKILL Radio.
All right, we're here, MoonKILL Radio, with some special guests, the Redrum Renegades of Long Beach Roller Derby team.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How you ladies doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for being here. Thanks for coming and giving us your time. We want to give a shout out to Redrum Renegades for coming in. Also, some shout outs to places that are actually selling MoonKILL Radio shirts. If you would like one and look as cool as I do, there's Dizzy on vinyl, 3004 East 7th Street in Long Beach. For all these Long Beach heads out there. There's Third Eye Records, which is also in Long Beach, 2234 East 4th Street. Right there where all the 4th Street shops and everything are at. If you're in the Orange County area, there's Program Skate Shop, 2495 East Chapman Avenue in Fullerton. Shout out to Chris and those guys there. Those are cool guys, my buds. GCS shop in Santa Ana over there by the Yost. That's 206 East 4th Street, Unit B, Santa Ana. Shout out to Hector. Those guys are cool. And, of course, our buds from Burger Records. Burger Records in Fullerton, 645 South State College Boulevard, Unit, or number A. All right? So that concludes the business part of MoonKILL. So we got that BS out of the way. Redrum Renegades Roller Derby. Please, we'll start from the end. Give me your name, and you guys have titles or anything? Or?
Yeah, some of us do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Names and titles, please.
I'm Lean With It, and I'm Vice President for Redrum Renegades.
I'm Salty Sarah, and I'm the treasurer.
I'm B the Butcher, and I'm team captain.
I'm Matilda the Hun, and I'm just a blocker.
And I'm Katrina de la Muerte. I'm the president.
So wait, one more time.
Katrina de la Muerte, and I'm the president.
The president.
Yes.
That's why I sat her next to me. Right? Okay. Well, let's just see. Redrum Renegades Roller Derby. This is a team, right?
It is.
And you're part of what league? Is a league?
Yeah, it's the league. It's the Renegade League.
The Renegade League.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams in the league?
There's a few, and there's mostly some in California. We have a few in Arizona, and then there's one in New York, Buffalo, New York, Portland. Where else?
I think that might
Bend.
be.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's about it. There's like about 7 teams nationwide. It's a pretty small league. Most of them are in Southern California.
Yeah.
Okay. How many do you have in California? Like, are
In
they local or, I mean...
The local ones is LA Renegade. We also have San Diego, the Outlaws, which are in Orange County.
And then the 2 in Arizona, we have Phoenix Renegades and Tucson Renegades.
Okay, so they're the most local.
Yes.
Okay, and then you said Portland and Buffalo, right?
Yes, Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So then when you guys travel over there to play over there.
Yes, we did travel all the way to Buffalo last year to play them. That was the first time going to New York. They'd come to us. So they're Nickel City Renegades. Last year they came to us and they come to us. So what we like to do is that if they travel to us, we'll travel to them so that it's fair.
Yeah. We switch off years. Mm-hmm. They come to us, we go to them. And last year we flew out to Buffalo and it was a lot of fun.
What time of year?
It was
November.
October.
Yeah,
we were in October.
Cold?
You know, it was okay. It wasn't that bad. Like it was probably like in the 60s, low 60s.
Okay.
But we went to Niagara Falls and that was cold. That was cold because we got wet. but it was really fun. But for the most part, it wasn't that bad. The weather's actually really nice.
We got to experience like the seasons and
Yes.
fall, looking at all the different
Yeah.
colors. I'm like, that's something we don't really get in Cali, especially in Southern California. So
Right,
that was
right.
awesome to see.
They got leaves.
Got leaves.
Right. Now what? you guys call them games or
They're called
matches or
bouts.
Bouts.
Yes.
Okay. So let me get that straight. Yes. So you would have not a game with them. You'd have a bout with them.
Correct.
Because we fit in a fight. No, I'm just kidding.
It's one or two.
The more the merrier, right? The more, like, do you guys like give each other points for fighting or?
No.
No, I was just
no.
completely joking. No.
Hey,
It happens.
It
Yeah.
does happen. Rarely.
Now I have to ask though, like, is there like a, like, what was it? Right, the NFL had that. Remember who got caught? And, like, if someone, like, I mean, it's not cool to go as far as they were doing, but
Saints.
like, huh?
Saints.
The Saints, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like they were having like, if you tackled the quarterback and kind of took him out for a play, you kind of got under the table money.
Yeah.
You
No,
guys
there's
have
none
or
of
what?
that.
Muerto
Not at
pays
all.
us in Starbucks gift cards.
Wicked skatewear.
Right?
That is a lie.
What's the legal term?
That's fake
Friday.
fact. That's a fake fact. What was
fact.
it? Yeah.
False facts.
Okay, so none of that going on? None of that on the
No.
tables? Come on.
Nothing.
No.
Come
No.
on. I'm not saying break their legs or nothing, man, or,
We are like full contact, no holds bars. So, any surface, anywhere, anytime. We don't have any refs like WIFTA. So WIFTA has refs. They have a penalty box. We don't have any of that. The furthest we go is we have something called a brawl buster. So in the event that two skaters get in a fight or a group of skaters get in a fight, the whole purpose is that the brawl busters will come in between them or tell them like, hey, knock it off. Sometimes they let the skaters go for a little while, and then it's like, all right, stop, And usually, like, they get into it for, I don't know, like 30 seconds or a little bit longer, and then it's, like, done and over with. But we leave everything out on the track. So after we hit each other, we might, like, take a really hard hit that knocks you into the audience, especially if you're sitting in the crash zone. We let it go after that. And then we go out and go to the after party and have a drink with them. So,
we have a
the
beer.
opposing team.
So kind of in the sense of like a hockey, you guys let them duke it out, like fisticuffs?
Not so much to that
Or-
extent, but we do get into some tickle fights.
Tickle
A lot of tickle
fights.
fights.
We'll hit each other, and let's say we both drop, and then all of a sudden we're on top of each other, and you can feel that tension happening, but you kind of stop yourself because you're not about to actually just wail on somebody, so you just decide to tickle them a little bit.
It's fun
It's
for
torture.
for,
It's torture.
for crowd purposes and also
Yes.
like a good
Yeah.
distraction
It's a good
in
show.
case like they're the jammer, the one who's scoring the points.
Okay, yeah.
So you've taken them out, and now our jammer is the one who's out there scoring points. So
Okay,
Every
well,
now and then there's real, fights and
Yeah.
altercations, but for the most part we try to keep it fun and light on the track. And I mean, you're hitting each other in aggression and things like that.
Yeah.
But they're still our friends and people that we go have a drink with after.
Okay, well, so let's get between the two different, like you said, you guys are full contact.
Yes.
Yes.
The other leagues are
WIFTA.
They're
minimal.
They're also full contact, but they have rules. So they have refs on the track. They have
Okay.
penalties. So if she were to hit me in a non-legal area, she would have to go to a penalty box and sit
okay.
for her penalty.
30
And then let
seconds.
go. They get let go, and then they could join the track again. For us, we're out there for 1 minute, and if she hits me the wrong way or she hits me like straight, like just shoves me, it is what it is. We just keep going because we just have 1 minute to keep skating. Yeah. So we don't get put in a penalty box, nothing like that.
Okay, but you said 1 minute. Now is it just 1 minute? Like, is there how many? Like, okay, how long is a bout?
So the bout, it
Okay, for
depends.
those out there who don't know.
Yeah, for
explain
those out
how
there.
a bout works.
So we have 3 15-minute quarters, and then we do have 5 to 10 minutes in between each quarter, and then within the quarter it's 1 minute bouts. So there essentially can be 15 bouts in 15 jams in 1 quarter. So 3 quarters per bout.
So
Okay.
each minute is called a jam.
Yeah.
So so there's two versions of roller derby. You have the WIFTA and the Renegade. The WIFTA, they have rules and regulations. The referee can blow the whistle. Somebody can call the minute, and so the jam will stop. In Renegade, once that clock starts for the minute, it's a minute no matter what. If somebody goes down, people are hurt, there's a fight, whatever, the minute goes for a minute, and as many points are scored during that minute as possible.
Now,
So
what happens after that minute?
They blow the whistle, and then the next lineup of the of new blockers and a new jammer go out for the next minute.
Oh, okay.
so
you-
it turns
you-
over every minute.
Yeah.
And
Okay. That's what I was getting at. Okay, so after a minute, then you guys are switch team or
similar
Switch
to
players.
football,
Switch
how like
players.
it's
Yeah.
called, and then you got like 10 seconds or so to get back on the
You
the
got
next
30
5.
seconds to get everyone
Yeah.
on the track. And
Different
then
lineup.
in between the two jams,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and WIFTA does the same.
Yeah, they do. They have different lineups as well. Like they'll go on for however long their jam goes on for.
Yeah.
And then after the whistle's blown and the jams has been called off, then their new lineup goes out there. Yeah.
Okay, so but the process is the same except they'll stop like you said they'll
Exactly. Yes.
stop the
So-
jam where you guys don't. It's just
Yeah.
a minute
Exactly.
and that's all you
Yes.
get.
Unless somebody
Yes.
breaks something, then it just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
So if you get knocked out, there's people still going and getting through and making the
They're
points.
just leaving you behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
running you over.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yes,
happened.
that's happened
before.
a couple of times to myself.
Rolling by, look at that.
And you just try to catch up as fast as you can because Renegade is fast. Very, very fast.
Okay. Oh, okay. So a minute jam, 15 jams in a quarter, and then you get 3 quarters,
Correct.
Yes.
and that's a full bout.
That's a full bout.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what like rules between like some of the differences between the WIFTA and the Renegades as far as even the fights or biting or what's going on?
So we have a golden rule. There's a golden rule with Renegade, and it's pretty much like, don't be a douchebag. Like, don't do something to the other team that you don't want to be done unto you. And so within Renegade, there is a lot of, tackling sometimes or fanny packing. And so some
fanny packing.
fanny packing.
Okay, what's
yeah.
fanny
So
packing?
fanny
You grab
packing
somebody.
is, go ahead, yeah.
Oh, sorry. You grab somebody by the waist and then you like pull them down.
From behind.
Yes.
like a tackle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Or baseball slides.
Or baseball slides.
Baseball
Explain what
slides.
that is. Go ahead.
So with a baseball slide, you'll see a skater coming up and you'll go full force and then just drop and slide into their skates or in front of them to trip them up.
Yeah.
And it's 100% legal.
It's
It's a lot of fun.
legal.
It's legal, but it's
These are legal moves, but it's considered like dirty playing. So
It's
like it's
douchey.
like known that you shouldn't really do it, but it's legal. But
Yes.
it's preferred not to do it.
it's
So-
like an act of desperation. Like
Yes.
she cannot score.
But there are some players or teams that will particularly play in that manner. But for the most part, as Redrum, we try not to do those things.
Yeah.
But you still get
But if we have to, we'll do it.
Sometimes.
And the one move that, like, across the entire league, we've all discussed within our teams is,
Okay.
like, no more neck takedowns. So before,
neck takedown.
yes.
Oh,
so,
right.
Renegade, it's evolved. So because there's a lot of more WIFTA teams out there, and things like that, Renegade used to be extremely rough, like, literally, like, no holds barred. And so it's a lot more tame now compared to before. If you talk to a lot of the old veterans that started Renegade, they're like, what is this? Why have you guys become so soft, Because we have changed to the point where, like, okay, we're not going to grab you by the neck and take you down, know? And that used to happen before, and it was just, like, a norm. It was one of the moves that, like, yeah, we did that, and what, Or the baseball slides constantly, or the fanny packing. Like, it was just something that constantly happened. And now you do see it, but it's not very present as before.
And it's because injury can happen from those type
Yes.
of moves, like more likely.
Yeah.
Also, I think over the years and how Renegade has been changing, a lot more of the teams are trying to implement more of like skills and using like a better skill level. I mean, it still happens, but it's not as prevalent.
A little
So-
more strategy rather
A little
than
more
just
strategy,
like
for sure.
Full boost.
Chaos.
juggernaut.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still
Force.
chaos though.
It is
Yeah.
a lot of chaos out there.
Nah, I mean, like, are some of you that have been in it miss the chaos?
I think sometimes, for me, I started playing Renegade in 2015, Yeah, 2015, 2014. So I've been in it for almost 5 years now. I know when I first started, it was a lot more full contact. I saw a lot of baseball sides. I saw all of that. And so I like to play like that sometimes,
Was
you
it
know?
the neck thing? Or?
No, the neck thing I never experienced, and I didn't see anybody do the neck takedowns. So I did enjoy that aspect of it. I felt like it was more aggressive playing, right? And now I feel that if I do play like that sometimes, it's like, calm down. Why are you so aggressive? Or like, you know, and I kind of feel restricted a little bit at times.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's take a quick one, and then we'll come back and get to the history of the Renegades.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Anybody? Good. We're all good.
Well, hoop-de-doo and heidi-ho, everyone. I'm Steve Blue, your host of It's a Gas, the show where I play songs from the Great American Songbook period every Wednesday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. and Sundays from 5 to 7 p.m. Please listen right here on KLBP.
As you can see, we took a quick about 20-second commercial break, and the ladies roller skated like lightning and got pizza. That's how talented they are. So, Red Rum Rollergate, Red Rum Renegade Rollerblade, Roller Derby.
Don't ever say rollerblades around
No blades.
skaters.
We'll cut you.
Hold everything. History on it. Where to start? How to come about? You know.
So the actual Renegade League started in 2004 in Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona was the first team. It was a group of skaters that kind of branched off and wanted to do their own thing and do something different rather than WIFTA. So they were known kind of like at the outlaws, right, of roller derby. Yes. And so
but there was WIFTA before this.
yes, the WIFTA has been around for a long time.
Okay.
So so in 2004, that's where it first started, and people started moving from, you know, Arizona, from Phoenix. And as they started moving to different cities, they're like, we want Renegade here as well. And so they started establishing different teams throughout Southern California. And then once again, you know, in Portland and in New York. So that's how the Renegade League itself started. As far as Redrum Renegades of Long Beach, we were founded in September of 2016. So a lot of us skated together with SoCal Renegades. SoCal Renegades was a team based out of Long Beach. Okay. So if you talk to a good majority of Renegade skaters, a lot of them, and I would say like a huge portion of them, started with SoCal Renegades. And so
that was a team?
That was a team. That was a
so
team.
That was one just big
that
team?
was just
or?
one big team who, you know, skaters left that team and either established their own teams or just, you know, joined other teams. Okay. So there was a group of us that had been skating for a few years together. And at the time, we didn't know it, but at the time, that was the last season of SoCal Renegades. And we bouted, and then it was like, oh, this is our last bout. You know, we're going to dismantle the team. So a lot of the skaters that were still there were like, we still want to skate together. What are we going to do? So we got together and we decided to establish our own team. And that's how Redrum Renegades came to be. And we decided to stay together, you know, some of the skaters, and establish a new team. We could have stayed with the SoCal name, but seeing that we wanted to branch off from that and start our own thing, we decided to become the Redrum Renegades. So we presented it to the league. The league accepted it, but then because of the location where we were at, they asked us to add Long Beach. So we became Redrum Renegades of Long Beach. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So.
Okay. And that was...
That was in September of 2016.
16.
Yes.
Okay, so you were a SoCal?
I was a SoCal skater.
I was a SoCal skater.
I was a SoCal skater.
No.
I was not.
Not yet? Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. Okay, so we'll start from here. So just real quick, I mean, when did you start skating? As far as this kind of skate.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say, as a child, I used to rollerblade everywhere. Rollerblading was my form of transportation, right? And so...
Wait. Okay, hold on, real quick. So, like you said, don't say rollerblades around
skaters, man.
So,
They get so violent. Like they're like, "Don't you ever say that. We don't rollerblade. We roller skate."
Okay. So yeah. So don't say rollerblade, right? Around roller skaters. Now, do you guys like I'm like between the Renegades or is it Renegade League, right?
Yeah, Renegade League. Mm-hmm.
Now, do you guys? I don't want to say like you guys kind of riff with the WIFTA people or
No, not at all. Actually,
are you guys like on each side of the fence? You're like, look,
like Lane, for
I'll
example.
take you out.
Lane skates for 2 leagues, so she can speak on that.
Yeah, no, I think there was a misconception about Renegade with the WIFTA players. They thought maybe it was just a little bit too violent and crass, but once we both started integrating, like Renegade players started joining WIFTA practices, they saw that it's actually really chill and it's really fun. It's a lot of entertainment for the crowd, and it's not as dangerous as they think. So a lot of them came to actually guest skate for us in the seasons past. And to say this, like WIFTA brings a different level to skating because these girls have to go through like this long training program to get where they're at. And to see them come do Renegade, it's nuts because they have the skill, and then you're kind of like taking the leash off them, and you're kind of like go crazy and attack, and they do it, and they have fun with it. And when I could speak for myself. When I go to WIFTA, it's like okay, it's like prim and proper, like there's like rules you have to follow. You can't do this, be all crazy, flying elbows or anything like that. So it helped me become more aware of my body and just be a better skater all around. Yeah, because there's not things you could do in WIFTA. Like, I can't go baseball slide somebody there. I'm going to have to, like, if she's all the way over there, I'm going to have to learn how to get faster or do something else because I can't just slide my way over there.
Yeah. Well, but it honed you into, like, a pure skater.
Yeah. Yes,
without
of course.
the other stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
but,
totally.
But the Renegades, you're more like the leash is off.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yeah.
Animals out of the cage.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Shirts off. No. Shirts off. Can't even keep my shirt on while I'm on there.
You heard that? All the men out there, you heard that? They said shirts are off at the Renegade League. You
Come to our bout.
I'm just
saying.
Booty shorts, fishnets.
Booty shorts, fishnets, and shirts are off. Right? Now, okay. Sorry, I just want to get the WIFTA. Thank you for that.
There's no like rivalry. It's
there's no
West Side
animosity.
It's not West Side Story.
There's like a camaraderie. Like
yes,
like
cool.
There's definitely a lot of cross friendships and hangouts and things like that. So
do you guys ever bout with them?
Sometimes I'll ask for guest skaters like help, especially if they know that our skaters have skated both rules.
Yeah.
Then they'll be like, hey, we need X amount of skaters. You think some of your skaters can help us out, but it's going to be WIFTA rules. And we're like, oh, yeah, sure, And so they have asked us and vice versa. We'll ask them, hey, we need some skaters for this bout. Can you lend some skaters? So.
But you guys never had a bout where it was like Renegade versus WIFTA?
That would be cool. But we
do scrimmages and
we are trying to plan one for this season where we take on a WIFTA rule set. But we'll see what happens. That should be chaotic.
It's easier for them to join in us because the rules go away. They just have to get a little bit more physical.
Yeah.
Whereas for us to join them, we're kind of like, what do you mean I can't do that?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you guys got to meet in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Like, we'll put a couple rules on it, but at the same time, I still get to elbow you in your teeth,
Oh,
right?
that's actually a good idea. Maybe we should talk to them about that. Yeah.
Right?
Meet us in the middle,
Yeah, meet you in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so history when you started skating, or where did it start for you? Like you said, I want to go skate.
For me, I wanted to do something different, kind of get out of my comfort zone. I'm not like the friendliest person, I'll be the first to admit. And so I wanted to put myself in a situation where I was going to force me to be friendly all the time and interact with people on a daily basis. I interact with people, and I'm an administrator for high school, so I interact with students and parents and teachers and everything else, but just to get outside my comfort zone and do something different, and also something physical for exercise. And so I came across an ad think it was on like Facebook or something, talking about roller derby. And I was like, oh, I've always been curious, kind of, want to try it out. And so one day I decided to go, and I started going every day, that they had practices. I would show up, and finally I was like, I think I'm going to join. So I didn't even tell my husband about it till like a month into it. He's like, I thought you were just going to the gym this whole time. And I was like, actually, no, I've been going to roller derby, And so it was something that I was kind of like fearful of, like, do I want to just, like, not, like, kind of just, and so that's where it started for me, back in 2015, 2014, around that time.
And just been loving it ever since.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
For me, I started in 2017. Actually, I came to practice like in September. Like for me, roller derby came at a time when I was not having my life was shit. It was like I just lost 3 members of my family. My daughter was living in Texas, and my friend was like, hey, I'm going to get you out of the house. We're going to go to this thing called roller derby. We're going to go to a roller derby bout. And I was like, what the F is that? And so my first game was Badfish, and I was watching. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do this so bad. And I met Lean at one of the games. And so she was like, yeah, come out. Like, let's do this. So then I came, my second practice, I sprained my wrist. I'm like, I don't care. I'm still going to come out and do this. And then I officially joined the team in November, and I've been with them ever since.
November of?
I'm sorry, 2017.
2017.
Yes.
Okay. So you've been here for 3 years.
Almost, yeah.
Almost 3 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. See again. And like I was saying earlier, so what you guys are doing is not just, it's fun, but it could be an outlet for someone in need.
Yeah.
At that time in their life, right?
Oh, yeah.
Get some aggression, which is good.
Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight.
Especially girls, women, females, or you guys have transgender people?
There's some,
There's
within
some
our league.
in the league?
San Diego has a transgender person
Okay,
on their
we
team.
were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
And men in the league now?
Yeah, there's some teams that are co-ed as
Co-ed
well.
teams?
Yeah, so they have men and.
Okay. See, but again, it's an outlet, right?
Yes,
For
all
you guys.
inclusive. Very much
So it's more than just a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like been the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like I made so many new friends. My confidence has went from non-existent to like I'm okay with myself, like it's getting there, but it's been the best thing I ever did.
Definitely
you're
builds
here
a
now
community.
talking about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
Builds a
I feel so
community.
special right now,
Hey, you're here now being filmed about it, right? There you go. Right?
Recording.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
I'll take that. I'd like to be on record that it was Lean's fault that she's here.
Hey, it was a good thing to happen.
Right. Butcher. Right?
Just like as with her, derby came at like a really rough part of my life. Also, like I was at work one day, and the other people that I was working with were like training for marathons. They were talking about bikes and they're running, and they're like, "Well, what do you do?" And I'm like, just get drunk and watch TV. I literally had nothing else going for me. I wasn't in school. I was just like working all the time, and I had reconnected with an old high school friend on Facebook, and I went to her page, and she had this giant picture of all these skaters, and it was during SoCal Renegades, and I messaged her and I was like, I didn't know that you played roller derby. And she's like, you should come out, like we're having practice on Mondays and Wednesdays. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'll be there, like I'll come on Monday. And my plan was to just like drive by, see what's going on. So I pulled into the parking lot, and it was just like all of these women gearing up, and they looked scary. Like they were tall, they were talking, they had all this helmets and shit. And I go in, and they're like, "Oh, do you need loaner gear?" And they pulled out these ugly ass pink and white skates.
Right.
They looked like some Barbie situations. And then I had a helmet that was like too tight, like knee pads that were like too big, and I geared up, and I looked like Bambi, and I rolled around and I fell. And
wait, the loner stuff, was that being the colors they wear? Was it on purpose?
Yes.
Probably. I'm sure.
What was it? You get like the loner shorts at school, and they're like the white
yeah.
and they're like, Is that what it is? Like, oh, you get the loner stuff.
But everyone who ever started skating with this team, like those were the loner skates.
I started in those too. I can admit, yes, I was.
Okay.
They let me borrow those. Yeah.
So I rolled around and
Wait. You guys should make that like a rite of passage,
Right? Yes, they have to wear the skates.
You have to go period wearing the loner stuff.
Good thing I have big feet, so I don't have to do that.
Oh, girl, we put those skates on size 7 to size 10. It didn't matter. Everybody wore those skates. So, yeah, you're going to put your foot in that skate.
It's like the guy putting the slipper on Cinderella or
Yeah.
the sisters.
right?
It's going to fit. It's going to fit.
Shove it in there.
So yeah, I showed up and then I hated it. It hurt. It hurt so bad. And I kept falling. And then Wednesday came around and I was right there. And then I said, man, like, screw this. I'm not doing this. I'm not good at it. I can't skate on these type of skates because I rollerbladed for most of my childhood. Okay. So these quads, these roller skates, I didn't know how to maneuver. Like, my feet won't feet right now. And like 2 weeks into it, I was like ready to give up. I didn't want to do it. Like, it was pain. There was like muscles that I didn't know were in my body. Mm-hmm. And I just kept showing up. Like, I would not stop showing up. I was just there. Like, I'm ready for more pain. And then
you were showing up like, I hate this, but I'm
here.
Yeah.
But I needed something to do. And then I went out and somebody was selling some gear for like a super cheap price, and it's like, all you need is a helmet and a mouth guard. So I bought it and I was like, all right, I've invested way too much damn time into this. I've spent money on this. Like, I'm all in. And I just kept pushing myself, and I wanted to be good so bad. And I just wanted to play. I wanted to bout, like all these things. And I'm like pushing myself, and yeah, like confidence level went like up here, and I'm just like, yes, like I'm the ish, and like I'm really not, but it was awesome. I've made some lifelong friends. I've made some amazing connections, especially with these women and like this team. And when SoCal went away, and I was like, well, that happened. We're gonna start a new team. We didn't want to like leave each other, and so like we've been since like the very beginning and helping to build this baby. And like my heart is so into this sport and so into this team, and like I feel really emotional right now. Like, like this is like right. Yeah, so I mean till the wheels fall off. That's how I'm in it, till the wheels fall off.
Okay, that's right. You were a SoCal skater too.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you start at
I'm sorry. I started in like 2016. Okay. So this is going to be May 9th is going to be my Derbyversary. So it'll be 4 years officially on the 9th of May.
Wow.
Derbyversary.
Yeah.
There you go. I like that. That's cool. All right, green hair. You're the baby of the bunch?
Yeah, well, as far as being Derby, so I started last year. I was just about to turn 30. And I had never skated before, ever.
Even as a little girl, or?
I had some rollerblades when I was a kid, but that was super short-lived because I like hurt myself and I just got scared of it. And I was like, I can ride a bike. That's cool. I don't need to do that. And I actually just kind of built up this fear of skating, and I wouldn't even like go to the rink or anything like that. And I wouldn't stand on a skateboard. I was always like really paranoid of like wheels and falling and whatnot. And I don't know, I just kind of like got it in my head like, oh, roller derby would be cool. And then through social media, I saw a game, someone on Snapchat or Instagram was posting it, and it happened to be my friend Eric. And I was like, yo, like, where are you at? And he was like, hey, well, my girlfriend, she plays on this team. You should check it out. And I was like, nah, man, I'm not in that kind of shape. I can't do that. And he was like, dude, you can do it. He was like, there's lots of girls out here, all different shapes, sizes, all different kinds of walks of life. Like, if they can do it, you can do it. So I was like, all right. And then B kind of just reached out to me and was like, hey, if you're interested, this is our recruitment night. And I went, and then I ended up going to practice, and I had a major anxiety attack, which in my normal life, like, I'm very alpha, powerhouse woman. I can talk in front of people, do all, handle street fight if I need to. But when it came to skating, I was like a complete flip of my normal personality. So I was like super frustrated, and but the girls were like, nah, you can get it, like telling me all these stories of like, well, I didn't skate until this, or it was hard for me to do that, or it'll take your time, it's your own journey. And so I told myself, like, man, I'm not gonna do this, because I came home, my legs were jacked up. And then I found myself driving to El Dorado Park again on Wednesday, and I was like, all right, I'm doing it again. And
this was last year?
Yeah, last year.
Okay.
And so I just kept coming, and for me, my journey's been a little bit slow, just because of like I had this fear that I built up through 30 years of my life of thinking skating is scary. But I feel like this season's gonna be breakthrough year for me, and roller derby kind of like I've been in lots of groups, I've been in bands, I've been in fraternities or different social clubs and stuff, but roller derby is like a whole different beast. You just have this like powerhouse of chicks that'll kick your ass, but at the same time they're gonna check up on you, and they're gonna we have moments where we're pushing each other on the track, and we're yelling at each other to do better. And but after hey, how are you doing? Or if you need help with that, let me know. Or giving each other tips and tricks and stuff like that. So roller derby kind of like took over my life. And even like my friends, like my best friend was like, man, I feel like I know who Jesse and B are, and like our coach and our captain, like, they feel like they knew them, because I started talking about it all the time, and it kind of just became like my favorite thing to do. And now I find myself like designing my schedule around like, okay, well, can I do that? Well, oh no, it's on a derby night. Sorry, I can't make that party though. I'm like gonna move my birthday party because it's like, and so, but yeah, I mean, I think, at least for people out there, like, I had this major fear, and even bruises and all of that, through all of that, it's something empowering about being able to just push through that and do it anyways. And like, I kind of made up my mind that I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to let anxiety or fear or, a bruise or whatever hold me back from being out there, being next to these, badass chicks. So
now, did it grow? Did it grow quick on you, or did you have like that epiphany moment where it's like, you know what, I'm all in this point on?
I kind of had this like all in thing. So like I showed up to practice, and I was like, I also have large feet. And I'm a larger person, and I was like, man, none of this shit's gonna fit me. Like, growing up as a plus size chick, I was like, they're not gonna have loner gear, because we have this giant box of loner gear, like, I was like, none of that's gonna fit me. And B was like, nah, I'll find something. And then she had these skates that were like super big, and like, so I put those on. They actually ended up being too big for me as well. But, and it was like 3 weeks in, and I got this like huge paycheck from this gig I did, and I was like, all right. I went out and I bought like a whole brand new set of gear, brand new set of skates, and I just like dove all in, and and now I'm gonna do it. And even like a funny story I tell people about like the bruises is, I actually had an allergic reaction, and I went to the emergency room from something not derby related. And I was in there, and like I see these nurses like outside of my room, like popping their head in, coming out, and there's like this commotion. I'm like, man, like what the heck's going on in there? So then this nurse comes in with a clipboard, and they're like, hey, Sarah, like we just want to talk to you about your home life, and if there's anything that you need to... And I'm like, what? And like they're looking, and she's like, well, we just noticed that you have a lot of marks on your body. And I was like, oh. And I was like, and I just looked at her, I was like, oh, I play roller derby. And she was like, ugh. She like walked out and told the nurse she plays roller derby. I was like, well, I appreciated their like diligence of like their concern towards me, but like I was definitely jacked up at that point because my legs were all messed up.
Oh yeah, you were gonna get the what is it, the social worker?
Yeah, they were like ready to ask me what was going on at home.
All right, Smiley, you're up.
Oh man, so I started derby kind of like the summertime with Muerte. But it was a long journey for me because I would jump in and out of practice. I really wouldn't show up. I had a lot of things going on with my life. So I wasn't really committed to it. I started being committed to it when we founded Redrum Renegades, and I was like, that was my all-in moment. I was like, okay, we're doing this. We're putting this effort to do this own thing ourselves. Like, I have to be a part of it. And even she told me, she's like, are you going to do it or not? And you could see her face right now. That was her face, and I'm like scared out of my mind. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it.
So she forced you.
Yeah, she forced me. You know?
Well, I got voluntold, so you're going to get voluntold. So, you know.
Yeah. So that was my all-in moment. So I would say like September 2016 was when I really started to be like, all right, I'm going to do this. And it's been a really fun ride since then. Yeah. Yeah, it has. And I would say, like, I love that these, like, the girls' confidence level goes up as long as they keep doing derby. Mine just dropped. I was like, this shit is hard. Like, I skated. I'm like, all right, like, this is it. Like, I'm doing it. This is going to be fun. I'm going to go skating. That's a lot of fun, right? I get in there. I could not do anything worth a shit. And I'm just like, nothing. And I'm like, oh my God, I completely suck at this. And that was really eye-opening for me because I'm like, you are not good. Calm down, sit down real quick. Just watch them do their thing because you are not it right now.
Oh my gosh.
When I first started, there's this thing. We have this assessment test where we're supposed to skate 27 laps in 5 minutes. The first time I did it, I did 8. I was horrible. But you know, as soon as I came back into it, I was like B and like Sarah, all in. I'm gonna try my best. There's no more excuses. If I really want this, I'm gonna do it, and that's what I did. And yeah, I'm gonna continue doing it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Till the wheels fall off.
And now she leads some of our practices, and she plays for 2 teams.
Oh, and the last time she got 27 laps in 5 minutes.
Yes.
We did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
I almost died.
It's a lot harder than it's.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a lot harder
But
than it seems. I almost
yeah.
died.
You did
Hyperventilating.
But you still made it.
I still
right.
did it. Yeah.
Right. You did.
Yeah.
Oh, and somebody got on sub pool.
Yes. For the WIFTA League, I passed the assessments to get on their home teams.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's
Congratulations.
So proud of you.
assessment-
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's different assessments, different set of rules, different things. But yeah, it was cool to get that high because it's hard, and even Renegade's hard. It took a while. So.
Well, now, well, you seem to be the only one that they're, you know, everyone's talking. You play both sides of the fence.
Yes, we do have other skaters that do
Right.
it as well.
Yeah.
Our coach does it. But what do you mean?
Okay, so on that, like, were you in WIFTA first?
No, I was in Renegade first.
Oh,
and then I
Renegade
went
first?
then I went to WIFTA. Yeah, I played soccer all my life, so I like a little bit of strategy. Because here it's like chaotic. They're like attack, and I'm like, chicken with its head cut off. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm going backwards, you know, like what? Yeah. So there's a little bit more strategy. Like they'll tell you like this is the play we're gonna do, and I'm like, ooh, I could do that. I'm like a little lapdog. I'm like, yeah. Tell me where to go. So I need direction. So yeah, the strategy part I love.
Okay.
Renegade, it's honestly, it's like getting the leash taken off of you. You just go wherever
Yeah.
you want.
So much
Yeah.
fun.
Pick
But
a
it's so
partner
much
and
fun.
don't die.
Yes.
Yes, do not die.
I mean, have any of you tried the WIFTA thing?
We go to drep practices sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've dropped into a couple practices and I like it, but I just also feel like I tone it all the way down and I don't do 100% because I'm like, I don't want to get a penalty. I went to a practice and I was in the penalty box 4 times and they're calling out these penalties and I was like, what is that? Like, what are you saying? And then they're some of the skill levels, like they have like a whole different caliber and they hit hard and I'm just like, wow, that is so awesome. And I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to stay in the lines.
So you feel
Yes.
like restricted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
But it's fun. It helps me to like figure it out in my head. Cause during like a bout, like you said, pick a partner and don't die.
Yeah.
Like I keep a very blank face, but in my head, I'm like, oh my God, please don't die. please don't die. Please don't die. Why are you coming after me?
Please don't hit me. I'll fall. That's fine.
But as like a new person to it, something that encouraged me like to also feel like I could do it was going to my first game. And it was actually when you guys played the Outlaws was my first game watching you guys. And the Outlaws has a player on their team who's really good friends with our team named LLK. And she's like 90 pounds. And she's like one of their most powerhouse player. But she's like super like all holds bar like flailing her body in there. And
90 pounds.
Yeah,
She
so
looks
small.
like a 12-year-old boy with a little.
But
booty.
she gets in there and she goes to battle and does it. And then there's like other players who are like 46, or we have a woman that's joining us right now. She's 56, and her first time doing the 27 and 5, she did 24 laps. Yep.
Yeah.
And she's ready to start her derby career now at 56.
Yeah.
And it's so
Just
it's like
starting.
Yeah, and so it's super
Alright.
cool, like, meeting and seeing all the other, I know we touched on it earlier with the transgender players, but, like, something that I thought was so cool coming from, like, the music world or entertainment, joining roller derby, the roller skater community is, like, super diverse and open and welcoming, and, like, there's this convention called RollerCon, and we, a few of us went to that last year, and it was super cool to see like how important like acceptance, like age, race, size, sexual preference, any of that, like all of it is like everybody's welcome. If you're gonna put on some skates, you can hang with us.
Yeah.
Cool.
All inclusive,
Yeah.
all inclusive for sure.
Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really good. Let's take just one more quick one, and then we'll get back for our last segment.
Okay.
Right? Well, any questions from the floor yet? Nothing? Okay. We'll be back. We're back with the Redrum Renegades of Long Beach.
Long Beach.
So when we were at Starbucks,
Long
the first time
Beach.
I saw the fucking lighthouse, dude. I was looking at your shirt, and I was like,
you never seen
I was
it?
like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a
the
whole
Queen
ass
Mary.
lighthouse.
It was a lot of work to put this together.
You know,